Okay, so today what I want to do is I want to add a new windowing system as an alternative to the current GLFW. I want to add SDL3. And then at a later time, I want to add QT6, I believe is the current one. Because what I want to do is I want to make sure that right now, everything that I do interacting with the window, so like the creation of the window, the setting up of the swap chains and the surfaces and all that is all based around my knowledge of GLFW, which means like it's too easy at this point for me to accidentally like narrow in and solidify a lot of assumptions and code around how GLFW specifically works. What I want to do is I want to add SDL3, another fairly popular windowing system, and then QT. And I want to make sure that when I do solidify the interaction between like windowing systems and my engine, that it is flexible enough to be able to accommodate all three forms of how windowing and applications are interacting with each other. So I'm pretty sure, like, if I go into the application around here, I mean, a lot of it is. Oh yeah, and to figure out like what can be made common between the items. So like, I'm pretty sure like the only thing that's really GLFW, and I presume SDL3, is this, basically, the pointer to the GLFW window thing. The rest of this can probably be like split out into a common structure, which is just generic. Well, even then, like things like the windowing, the camera placement and stuff, that's not really window specific either. But that's another issue for another time. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure I have like GLFW stuff in the application layer, like GLFW. I probably have some. Yeah, I have GLFW stuff in here for some reason. Yeah, so here we go. Some direct things where like the only way I can process user input is if it's GLFW. Here for moving cameras, showing window, the window closing checks, the polling event, the event polling. Like, I'm pretty sure SDL3 works off a loop that you do rather than it being hidden in here. And I have no idea how QT is supposed to interact. So again, today specifically, SDL3. So to begin with, let's actually create a SDL3. Let's start getting some files in place. So I got CMake lists. I'm going to add a window.hpp and a window.cpp. So let's grab CMake lists over here, bring it over. That's fantastic. We got that. And then I'm going to say find package. Let's see, find package. I'm going to assume it's like SDL3, and I'm going to require components, required. It's required, and I'm just looking for SDL3, which I would assume is library. And I'm going to link it into just library for the moment. So SDL3 and SDL3. And then I need to add it as a subdirectory to actually be up for SDL3 for compilation. I have found, to help with this, and I'm going to be using this to basically figure out the nuances of SDL3 specifically. This little, let me increase zoom in on that a little bit. This is all in C, so it's simple enough, and it is Vulkan. And so, yes, it's still things like, what are the window flags, the exact function names, okay. SDL does do this loop where you get an event and you just go through, you request them, you process them yourself internally, and then you carry on, and then this is the whole loop. Okay. So, don't know why I can't unhighlight that, but okay. So window HPP. Let's have a look at the original implementation of the GLFW one, and most probably copy and paste most of it, if not all of it. So yeah, I did GLFW 4 years ago. By the time I get a second one and I start solidifying this stuff. If and def. At the very least, and define that. And if that. Okay. So all of this is going to be the same at the very least, and then we're going to have something that's just like include SDL3/SDL.h. I'm not going to try to like split out what's common and not quite right now. SDL3, and I'm going to say SDL window. Yeah. That's a null pointer. That should have also been a null pointer. We got stuff, and then we got 3. We got the creation, the destruction, and the window maintenance. I forget what exactly this does. Creates, deals with the swap chain stuff. Detects if it is a different size. Recreates swap chain and surface. Yeah. Simple enough. So let's create these 3, and then I'm not going to really solidify things until I get at least Qt. Qt is the interesting one, because that's, I believe... Okay, SDL window. That's going to be the interesting one. SDL3. 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 Okay, we got these. Let's put these on the CPP side. Let's grab out the copyright blurb at the top. Okay, we got that. Okay, so back to this. Was the window creation is just like SDL create window with the flag. I guess we have to save. Oh, wait, no, hold on. We have to initialize. Okay. So initialization is going to have to be. Okay. Let me just check if it's, yeah, it's pretty much the same here. If not, oh, sorry, if SDL init, and we have to do the video subsystem, SDL init video, less than 0. Then we had a bit of an error. Doesn't quite seem like this. Result of comparison with constant 0. Okay. If it fails, what do I got? I just do standard report. Okay, so it's not very fleshed out. Got window hints, so this is what the part where I create the window flags. Window flag. SDL window Vulkan with SDL hidden, and it's resizable. And what was that? SDL window, can't type today. Resizable Vulkan, borderless, external full screen. Okay, is there any? Okay, none of the rest I'm interested in right now. So we're going to create SDL window star p new window. I'm going to say it's SDL3. And we got width and height. flags. Wow, I am just not capable of typing today. Okay. If not p new window, is there anything else I actually need to do? Because on this side, what I have to do is set a whole bunch of callbacks, but SDL doesn't do callbacks. It does that event loop instead, where you're doing the stuff yourself. So I don't actually think I need any of this. So I may just be able to do p new window. If we do something, we return true. Otherwise, we return false. Star p new window equals p new window. Okay. On the destruction side, SDL destroy window looks pretty straightforward. P window, window. Okay. What do I have to do on this side? Do I have to do, okay, let's grab this swap chain destruction thing. I don't get size. Okay, let's get, what's the GLFW things? That is literally it. Just the one thing is the GLFW requires GLFW. So I'm pretty sure, okay, for the time being, I just want to make this thing work. It's going to basically be a copy and paste job. And this probably is requesting a couple more items. Yes, it is. Go up here. We do that. We add these items. Simple enough. Or maybe not this one, apparently. So I need SDL get or window size. With the window, width and height. Okay. So make sure that compiles at least, so that it's finding the library. It looks like it is. It compiles at the very least. Great. So back to the application side. Somewhere down here is where okay, so I'm going to rename this to GLFW window data, and we're going to have a new one for the SDL data for the time being. SDL3 window data. Okay, these are close enough that I'm going to put them both in the same application, basically side by side. I'll have one window be a GLFW, one be SDL3, and then I'm going to have to see how. I'm pretty sure Qt is like a completely different paradigm and won't be compatible. But I'm going to see like how far I can get before I have to change. Before I have to start splitting things out for that. So let's go to window data is what I'm looking for. I need to find all of these cases. So beginning here, this is in the creation where we're registering a whole bunch of stuff. We create the windows. Yes, set a bunch of stuff. This is for XR, which I'm not. Oh, that's separate. This is the section I'm looking at. Okay. GLFW, and then we're going to paste out another one for SDL3. Going to get rid of the editor mode. I'm not quite bothered about that right now. SDL3. SDL3 underscore, and then this one turns into GLFW underscore that. Next, here we create the surface. Okay. GLFW. And we got GLFW. SDL3. Auto and iterator, we're going to go through SDL3. Window data, result is going to equal, I'm not, okay. How do we SDL create window surface? This doesn't look quite Vulkan. Okay, back to this to figure out window position init Vulkan. I don't know why I can't even Control F. I can't even find, okay, fine, I can't find anything. Why can't I? Chromium. Restart Chromium. Go to GitHub, which I was just there. Thank you very much. We're real now. We go in here, we go for init underscore Vulkan. Okay. Instance, device. Here we go. SDL Vulkan create surface window instance. I'll assume this is the allocator. They usually are. And then the surface is popped out. So what does it return? I don't know what it returns. But I'm going to assume I don't have it right now. Include SDL3 SDL underscore Vulkan. Yes. Exists. Back down here. Underscore Vulkan underscore create surface. What does this return? This returns a Boolean. So if, okay, if not, whatever this is, window, Vulkan instance. Okay, this was indeed the callback or the allocator stuff. And then this was it.surface. Close that up. So if it fails, I'm just going to standard abort for the moment, my usual thing. And then we carry on, we add auto const and iterator, SDL3. Pushback it.surface. So again, it goes through and makes sure that all these surfaces, the device that is selected as part of the creation of the graphic session can render to all the surfaces that I have available. So GLFW, so creating the, what is this, allocate render view, which I think is part of my render graph. Again, this is like several years ago since I've touched this, right? Okay, apparently this was, oh no, because, right, I just re-added the skunkworks. Yeah, of course. Whatever. So we got that. I'll do SDL3. Carry on to the next one, which is part of the destruction section. So things are done backwards. Again, a lot of this is basically the same, except for this and this, which is SDL3. Carry on down to here, which is where we're going through, we're just showing all the windows. It's going in backwards. I'm not sure why. I'm not even going to bother. I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Show window iterator.p window. Whatever. I'm only going to set the GLFW window to be the one to listen to for closing. Okay, processing of events. So here we do the GLFW. Then what I would want to do is, okay, GLFW, SDL3. We're clearing the mouse keyboard, yes. And then what I want to do is back down to, towards the bottom would have been that event loop. SD event, get the events, process them. Okay. I'm just going to do basically none of them right now. I'm just going to go through the events and I'm going to clear them, but I'm not going to actually do anything. So SDL underscore event. If event dot type equals SDL event quit. I don't know. I do nothing right now. And then else if event dot type equals SDL event key down. We do nothing as well right now. So that'll go through the events, that'll clear them all out. And then, what's next? Window processing. What does this do? So for editor mode, it passes that stuff in. Otherwise, it runs processing user input, which is that internalized function up here, which is whatever. And if the window's been resized, then it's in GLFW's case, it says it marks it as needing to be rebuilt. So I guess it's a cheap way to not have to keep re-requesting the size every time. All right. This can just stay as GLFW, I'm pretty sure. I don't see what I need to do on SDL right now. I'm not even checking if the thing's resized. Okay, yeah, I may have to do that at least. Else if event.type equals SDL event window resized, then I'm not event.window.WindowID. Is this okay? Unlike the callback method with GLFW, which will basically call back to the specific window, I'm not sure how to actually to figure out like what events are related to what window. So dot common. No. I'm pretty sure it must be window. A window. But other than that, render dot window ID. Again, it's just kind of Okay, dot. What's this? Okay, this is where I go in and I say, hey, SDL window events. SDL3 window events. Window event data. Yeah, I could do switch, yeah. Okay, what is window ID? Is just the pointer to the window? This is something I'm going to actually have to figure out. So I'm going to add a breakpoint there, and that's going to have to be something I'm going to check out immediately. And here, actually, on this one, either on quitting or on resize. All right, back down to the SDL3 stuff. Swap chain updates if necessary. So, okay, got this. And then acquire target presentation images. So this is where I prepare to do, where I figure out which windows are ready to have swap chain of images available. So then I render to them. I find out if I can render to them. So I got just the one window render list. And regardless of that, I go to here, do all of this. Yeah, okay. That's a bit much. Okay, again, GLFW, I'm just going to do it the very brute forcey way. I'm going to have to do an SDL3 version down here. So we got this, we got, nope, that's not what I wanted to paste. I wanted to paste just that. SDL3 window data. Three. I'm going to rename this to be very specific. Otherwise, if it's too generic, I'm going to get confused. So if this and the SDL3 window render list is empty, then just skip out. Otherwise, we go into this thing here. All the way down here is where we actually do it. So again, number one, GLFW, version here, GLFW, that, and GLFW that. Okay. We do all of this minus the editor stuff at the end, I presume, and the image capture stuff as well, I believe that looked like. So this is SDL3, SDL3. So we do this, we go down to, okay, again, we're not doing the CPU image stuff right here. Or maybe I can, hold on. No, I could probably do this as well, just to make sure that, you know, something or other, I don't know. Export CPU image, we do that, we save it as -SDL3, and then the other one originally will be just a bit further up. This will be this, GLFW. There's no editor mode. So there's no render debug UI job. No, there still is. Well, I mean, okay, I'm not going to fix up the logic for that. But at the end, okay, that's the basics of everything. Compile it. Did I even add it here? Include. Yes, I did. Okay. F5. Let's debug. That's not at all what I was trying to hit for a debug. Okay, so my guess is that this debug call, when I was starting the application, I keep getting this like thing that says that, you know, the file is newer than the module file, so that what had been compiled. So I've removed the build folder. I've just recompiled the whole thing. Let's see if that's better. Wait, it's me being just silly, isn't it? Because I've renamed it, haven't I? Yes, I have. And I did not update these things to be this. Now we go back into the application. Now we're on, yeah, now we're on board. Okay. Not my finest hour. Okay, we go inside. That's great. We see that this, yeah, that's true, because if it didn't, okay, we set the window. That's great. We return true. We do this, great. So I am going to assume we're not going to die here. Going to go to this point at the very least. We go in, we say, hey, this has a real window. Yes, it does. So moving on. All the way down to, let's say, here. Now, I mean, now it makes sense that why these things were getting done up. Oh, of course the window wasn't showing up the last application. It wasn't compiled with the stuff. So, okay, I've lost the ability to interact with this one. No, it's still got the keyboard. I just can't do it via mouse for some reason. Weirdly. I can't click it. So there's this guy. I mean, I'm not doing anything here. Anyways, doing this gets resized. Okay. Window ID of 5. I don't know what the window IDs are. Let's just see if I can figure out like SDL get window ID. Okay, that's probably how it's going to have to work. Yeah, it's not so great. All right. So I do have, I presume, two. I don't know why SDL is just consuming the mouse stuff for the GLFW window. Not the position of it, but the clicks and that. But I'm still got the keyboard from here, so yeah, okay. Cool, that's broken, I understand that. But that is okay. So as a first thing, not too bad. So one thing I have to do, at least on this side, is once I create the window, I need to get the ID, and then I'm going to have to map by ID somehow. Like, that's just not particularly great, having to just, I don't know, iterate through a vector or, you know, a list or, you know, hash map or something. I don't, I just really wish it would, oh, maybe I can get the, no, I probably can't. Well, maybe I can. Can I get here, like, the ability to SDL get window? Can I get the window pointer from the ID? No. There's some nuances between the different sizes. Get window from event. What's this? Get window associated with, oh, okay. Okay. So I can actually do this. I'm not sure. I don't know how fast it is. But again, not really my problem. It's an application thing. So what I want to do is I want to basically say, or actually I could just do it up here, right? I got a window something or other. Or no, maybe I can just do it here. Maybe save a couple cycles. Window. This is going to equal SDL get window from event from the event. Actually, no, that's not particularly great because that doesn't get me any further. I still have to iterate through and figure out which window is it is associated with me, unless I can create or add my own pointer thing where I have like GLFW, where I have my own data backend or user pointer. SDL get user folder. Set window. Pair position, shape, size. I don't see it. No, okay. So I'd have to go through them anyways. That doesn't really get me any further. So I forget what was the size of it anyways. SDL WindowID. We're going to have to set it in here. We'll get it from here. I'd have to return more than just this, actually. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this up. So window, that's the GLFW one. This is okay. This is the one I'm looking for. So I'm going to change this up to not be doing this, but just do SDL3 window perhaps, or mouse import, keyboard input. Is there any? I feel like, I'm just going to do SDL3 Windows star, or can I just do an equal? Is there anything that requires, like any fancy stuff? There is no fancy stuff in here that I can see. So what I'm going to just return is this. I'm going to return this whole thing. A bit heavyweight, but whatever, right? Yeah, I'm just going to return this. So I got not that either. Oh, wait, hold on. Because it's an array, resized. Yeah, if I'm returning, yeah, so it's just going to be this star p window data with a Boolean here. That's the thing that's going to be returned. It's going to be passed in and then returned. I'm not going to do anything fancy about that. So, okay. Change this. Visibility. All this stuff changes out to that. So if this works, Yeah. Okay, actually, no. If not this, then we return false. That's the more exceptional case. Otherwise, we're just going to go through this case, true. So p window data, p window is going to equal star p window data, or no, it's just going to be equaling that. Or p new window, I should say. That's a lot better. Okay, I'm going to have the SDL p window data ID is going to equal SDL get window ID of this. Is there anything else I'm going to be doing resize right now? No, I don't require any of that. So this is common. This is SDL specific. Great. I'm going to return both of those. We're going to go back into the application. We're going to change this. We literally end that. Okay, then, okay, make sure that's not going to break. Do that first. Then I'm going to figure out the SDL stuff. Oh, actually, that's the thing I probably want to, do actually first is to double check. Is it actually bringing out this? It is, but it's not bringing out the SDL one, interestingly. Very interesting, actually. Okay, so we're in the SDL loop. We're going to go through, going to grab this stuff. We're going to do something with it very successfully. And then we should be going into here. CPU image fence, it exists. CPU image saved is false. Why? Oh, right, I gotta wait a little bit. Do. To about here. And it never actually, oh. Okay, we're doing this. Got it. It's great. Okay. Create the image, we blob it, we outfile it to something else entirely. Because this actually string copy doesn't work, this image info. This doesn't seem to work. Oh, image to blob. And then I put it out. Okay. So this is what I needed to do. Yeah. We go through, we do stuff, magic, whatever. It happens. Both images are saved. We end. We go down. SDL3 exists, and so does the GLFW one. Okay, good. Back up to where I was. SDL event processing. Just right here. Okay, great. So I got something I want to do like Boolean. Close. Starts off as false, but it will be, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to go through like for auto and iterator through SDL window data. If, or actually I'm going to have to grab, I want to grab it first. SDL window ID. Event.window.windowID. If window.id equals window ID, then I want to set window.close equals true, and then we'd want to break at that point, save a couple of cycles. Probably not much, but hey, every little helps. Great. Then I kind of want to have to do the same thing. It's const. For the next case of, hey, you know, the key is down, or no, maybe the key, I want to do this. I'm going to say, hey, bool resized. It's false. And we can do resized here as well. Oh, no, I don't actually commit to resized quite yet. But I would actually be curious if it is resizing right now. I don't think I've actually done that. Like if I resize GLFW, it's not actually working anymore. Curious. I was pretty sure it used to work. Let me test it out. Let me go to application. Remove. Just set this as to be there are 0, and see what happens. Yeah, it's just broke. That's something I definitely have to fix. Very curious. So when I get a resized callback, you know, I'm supposed to go into here eventually when there's a resize. Okay. So that's at least happening. So at that point, what's supposed to happen is in the application, at some point, reserve here, maybe. Sorry, this is the SDL one. Here, no, further up. I have to modify the sizes of stuff. Window processing, blah, 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 blah. I'm resizing this. Right? Let me resize the window just a tiny bit. No. Okay, interestingly, what if I just stash this and go back to like before? Because maybe, is there something weird like the interplay, like SDL3 is taking over from GLFW? Like they just don't play well together? Maybe like one of the frameworks is registering its hooks and then the other one is overriding it somehow. I don't know. Yeah, see, this is resizing absolutely correctly. So it is most likely just the interplay between the different things. Dang. Okay. That changes things quite a bit, actually. Actually, okay. I'm curious as to, like, is it just me? If I just link, if I just link something, is that enough to actually cause it to, so if I get stash, and then I go into here, and I just like add and link this, is that, okay, so right now, again, back to the basic application, GLFW3 only. I do this, resizing, great. It's all correct. Clicks, yeah. Okay, fine. Great, whatever. I just add that. Is that enough to screw this up? No. So something else is happening at some point that I just don't know what. So, I wonder, what could it be? What could it be? If I go back to application, I set, there are 0 SDL windows, right? And so right now it's not great. It may be like the SDL event loop is just, so no clicks, resizing, not happening. Back to application, we go down or up to this event loop. I'm curious if it's this event loop is just grabbing, like right now, SDL init is not, has not been fired, right? If I go to Windows CPP of this should not be firing at all. Okay. Interesting. So if I re-enable just this is the thing that's probably just taking all the events off of the, or hold on. Well, this doesn't actually matter, but that was, yeah. It's probably just this bit. No, this is fine. Oh my God! It was me because I was re-clearing the resize flag there. Okay, so this is actually completely fine. If I go back to application here, I re-add the SDL window. Okay, no. Okay, we're initializing this. No problem, right? GLFW. Okay, after, yeah, that clicks work. Resize, whoop. Resize works. Let's do that again. Resize dimensions are correct as expected. Fantastic. So now I just got to figure out how to do that for this one, because now this is the one that's just not adjusting correctly. Okay, so, you know, not bad, not bad, not bad at all. So back to SDL event. I got the close. Do I want to do the resize? What can I do with the resize? Window processing. Where do I do? Somewhere in here is a maintenance. Here we go, the window maintenance, yeah. So swap chain updates if necessary. This, of course, happens the first time. We go and we say, hey, there's no swap chain. There's no request for a rebuild. But we do create it the first time. And then that's it. Fine, that's fine. So this is being set based on this here. So what I want to do is GLFW, and then going with a SDL version. Where I don't have the editor mode stuff now. If window resized, set that. I'm not processing input events right now. That. If this becomes resized, so I need to do bool resized is false by default. Come on back up here and say if resized, I want to do this. I mean, I don't actually need resized. I should just be able to say, hey, window dot need to like need swap chain rebuild, but equals true. And then that would be enough. So got SDL3. And then I resize, yes. So the swap chain is going to be resizing properly. The close thing isn't, well, yeah, because I'm only paying attention to this right now. Okay, so the only thing I'm getting out of this is the window resize. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to include standard IO. And I'm just going to print the new size of whatever I'm doing here. Printf. %u, or these are just integers, right? Yeah, int. Integer, width, height. I need to also add a new line so I can actually read the thing. It seems to always be, I'm not resetting it, am I? One way, quick way to figure out. Well, it also actually helps if I increment I. Yeah, it just keeps going. This is still that. Y is, okay. Resize this here. I set it to true. Set true. Do I ever actually reset it on the GLFW side, or am I just constantly creating swap chains after the first? Because if that's the case, then I am absolutely doing a terrible thing. Okay, let's check the GLFW one. No, I'm not. I am at some point resetting that to false somewhere. Right, I'm doing it as part of this, aren't I? Yes. it.resized equals false. I should really just set it to false as soon as I'm done, as I've cleared it, basically. Shouldn't I? Or as soon as I'm done with it. Or add it to, like, the reset function of whatever. Okay. Something funky going on here. Sure, whatever. Okay, so this is all. Okay, I think this is good and almost good enough. Oh, you know what? Actually, no, I'm going to call this good enough for the SDL implementation, because all that's really to do is the SDL key down and up events, and then I would have to just also modify the function up here, which does the processing, which is, where is it? This thing, which basically adds like, moving the camera left, forward, back, and front. Actually, I can, no, I can actually absolutely do this right now, can't I? GLFW, this, great. Where is, no, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. SDL3. Okay, how do I figure out what, okay, I don't know how to actually do, like, figure out what key, SDLK, hold on. SDL key, what was it? Z. SDL key underscore Z. Okay, so it's going to be, yeah, it's a bunch of these things. Replace a number of these like this. Do. Great. And SDL mouse button. Okay, I don't have that quite done yet. So let's not quite do mouse right now, but let's at least make sure. Okay, this is GLFW one. SDL3. Cool. And then I need to go back up. I need to add this stuff to happen. So I need to make sure I got the right key, the right window, I should say. Then if I found the right one, then I need to do window.keyboard. Pressed keys dot. How do I do this on GLFW side? When I do a key, pressed keys and down keys. Okay. Event.key, I think. Dot down keys, dot insert. I need another one for nope, not quite. Do that, and I got one for key up. Need to erase that key. Now, I'm not entirely sure. Is there a thing of SDL key event key? There isn't. GLFW has the thing for key repeat. It also has a thing for the characters. SDL Okay, keyboard event. Let's see what we got. Get key from scan code. Not sure what this is about. Down, repeat. Oh, if repeat. Then I can do that as well. If event or nope, not here. Event.key.repeat. If it's a repeating event, then it's still down and it's still pressed. Then I don't need to add that. Pressed and released are ones that are reset every time. Down keys are stay and for the whole time. Now, I'm not sure how in SDL I can get like the character. SDL3 keyboard character. Like if there's a great way like in GLFW. Oh, there's a whole thing about best keyboard practices. Here we go, specific key. No. Okay, chat box, here we go. Okay, this is actually pretty useful. Okay. So how does this work? I just start it, and then at the end I get the string back. Or like, how do I get if this was hide it? Okay, and listen for text. Okay, text input. Right. So we get this, we're going to do keyboard dot Unicode character is going to equal event dot key dot, this doesn't look quite right. Dot, oh, maybe it's dot text dot the input text UTF-8 encoded. That is, that's going to be an interesting one, actually. I'd have to kind of figure out how to do UTF-8 to Unicode or something like that. In C. I mean, imagine it's just like going through getting the negative 128s and then just adding the values together. Yeah. Okay. Do UTF-8 to Unicode conversion. Or maybe keep it as UTF-8. Or do UTF-8, do Unicode U64 to UTF-8. So I can just copy and paste or just add that to like a UTF-8 buffer if I have it elsewhere. Maybe. One way or the other, this can happen. I just want to like do an int red equals 5. I just want to see if this thing is actually giving out key items right now. If I just hold something like the S. No. But let's say if I resize it, I do like, what was it? UT text start or something like that. Start text input on the window, .p window. Okay, I resize it. It's not actually doing anything, so that's not what I was expecting. Not particularly great. Oh, I broke it before I even ran it. Okay, if I do S, I'm holding S, A, whatever, nothing there. Resize. Put that back on. There we go. Now I have event.text, wherever you are, there you are, with the character of A. Okay. Actually, here. %string, new line. I'm going to just do window dot, or not window, event dot text dot text. Whatever that is. Okay, we bring it down. Yeah, okay. So what was I doing? What I was going to do was I was going to see, yes, I have. Can I move back? Keyboard commands don't seem to be doing anything in here. Not particularly great. I am getting the keyboard events though, right? Mm-hmm. And then I presume I'm coming through up here somewhere to the point. Oh, only if I have, okay, whatever, fine. I need to get the mouse. I need to detect the mouse coming in and out of here for now. Okay, we've got the mouse button down. That means sorry, not window, event. So we have that. Let's see if that is actually going to do anything right now. Yes, it is. So if I do that, SDL and keys, nothing happens. Because what was the thing I needed? In window. I need to detect if it's actually in window. I don't have, okay. SDL3 mouse enter window. There must be an event for that. Category mouse. That's moving the mouse, has mouse. Oh, here. It's just if it's connected. I want to see if it's in the window area. Or maybe I just have to do if mouse motion. Maybe it only does mouse motion if it's in that specific window. Where am I? Here we are. So let's just do the up ones. Where is the key event up? Released keys and down keys. Down buttons. See, this is only if it's moved. I want to see if I want to track if it enters. This is 2010. This is way before SDL3. Window input focus. Oh, hold on. Here we go. There's event mouse leave. So event window mouse. Ah, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. So yeah, this would definitely be good if it was a switch statement. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. False. Okay. Okay. Q and E doesn't seem to be the same. If I leave, then it doesn't work. I actually have to click down on this to actually make it happen. I don't have clicking on that side quite yet. SDL3 mouse buttons. Mouse button event. Mouse button flags. We'll just do this. If this one's down, okay, give this one a go. So this will basically give me input parity between the two. Click E, Q, almost. Now I need to do the motion one. Mouse motion. Mouse dot. Is it position? Not. It's just dot position equals event dot mouse or motion dot X and Y. Yeah. And then I have the old ones to detect actual like changes. And then I'd have to do the same thing for scroll wheel, but I won't do that right now. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of duplicate code here. But again, like okay. So I think I'm going to leave SDL there. They're pretty much at feature parity now between the two. And what I want to do next time is to add a Qt version which will then like give me like a, because I'm pretty sure Qt operates in a completely different wacky way. And then I want to see like what common elements I can actually split up out and what has to remain like with like actual window implementation systems and all that. So until then, until next time, cheers.